Alright guys, so welcome back to some more Apex. I hope you're having a very good day as always, and we have a lot of news to talk about in today's video. And when I say a lot of news, I mean a lot of news. Respawn just did an AMA, which is called Ask Me Anything, over on Reddit, and they basically responded to a lot of fan questions, and we got some very interesting information, as I said, about Apex. Respawn touched on, new additions in the game. They gave us information on upcoming buffs, upcoming nerfs, arena changes, new arena features as well. And it was just a very productive and informational, I don't know. Guys, it's 3 a.m. right now, I can't talk. So sit back guys, get comfy, get something to drink, something to eat, because we're going to be talking for a while in today's video. Drop a like real quick. A like goes a very long way on YouTube, and we're on the road to 75k subscribers as well. So if you still haven't hit that sub button, I'd appreciate it very, very much. A like and a sub goes a very, very long way, so don't be shy. And if you're still watching the video, comment garlic bread, because why not? Everybody loves garlic bread. So first things first, let's talk about what Respawn had to say in terms of arenas. Arenas has been a very great addition into Apex. I feel like Season 9 has really, even without arenas, right? Season 9 would have been a very good season because of the changes that Respawn made. But in addition to the already existing content in the Battle Royale part of Apex, arenas has really made Apex a lot more fun, a lot more interesting, and it's given us different ways to play and enjoy the great gun skill that Apex has, right? So Respawn did a very good thing by introducing arenas in Season 9, and they do have some changes and some upcoming features planned for it. So the lead game designer over at Respawn, his name is Carlos Pineda. I'm sorry if I'm saying that name wrong, my apologies Carlos, but he was basically talking about what additions he wants to add to Apex arenas, and what he said was that arena LTMs are definitely on the table as we speak. So basically what he's saying is that Respawn has plans to bring arena LTMs at some point. Obviously we don't know what LTMs Respawn has in store because arenas just dropped like 2 weeks ago, but this information gives us a very clear idea of what Respawn eventually wants arenas to be. It's not just gonna be a second forgettable mode to the BR mode. Respawn still wants it to be fun, and they want arenas to definitely have a strong presence in Apex. So here's what he said word for word. Arena LTMs are definitely on the table, but they take time to develop. We'd have to weigh that against other features. Respawn is very much interested in bringing some kind of LTM to arenas, but of course the mode just dropped like 2 weeks ago, and they most likely still have different priorities over arena LTMs. So I would say maybe in Season 10, maybe in Season 11, expect to see some very interesting and fun arena LTMs, most likely not in Season 9, but it's still just good to have this information and to know Respawn is working on some kind of arena LTM as we speak, so that's great. Now we also have some more information about arenas, and this doesn't come from the AMA. It was basically just Carlos Pineda, the lead game designer, talking about arenas over on Twitter. And here's what he said. So I understand everyone is excited for ranked arenas, but what other arenas update would you like to see? I'll start. Penalties for early leavers. That's me clapping, because that is exactly what arenas need to have. Arenas to me is very different from BR, because if someone leaves in BR and you're in like a trios or something, you could still potentially win if you're really good, right? You still have a chance to win. But in arenas, if someone leaves, you're basically screwed. It's a much more competitive game mode, guys, and you need a full team to really, win and survive. Basically what I'm trying to say is that it's a lot more detrimental to the team if somebody leaves the game in arenas as opposed to BR, simply because of the type of game mode that arenas is. So I was actually hoping Respawn would address this, and they did, so this is great news, because once arenas ranked comes very soon, we need to have some kind of penalty system in place. I also feel as if AFK players in arenas need penalties as well. I'm not sure why this is, guys, but for some reason in arenas there seems to be so many AFK teammates and enemies as well. Like, I'm not sure why players go into arenas knowing they're going to be AFK, and as I said, it's a lot more competitive than just the BR side of Apex. So yeah, Respawn, we need these penalties. I'm not sure what exactly they're going to be working on, but this is just good news all around. So what do you guys think about this arena news? Leave your comments down below. Let me see your thoughts. Alright, so moving on. I wasn't expecting Respawn to actually address this question over on the AMA, but somebody was basically asking about the potential of reticles coming into Apex. So of course in COD right now and Warzone and stuff, you have different reticles for different sites. COD has had reticles in the game ever since before I began playing COD, so it's always been kind of like a staple in COD games to have reticles. And because Respawn obviously were like the originators of COD and Modern Warfare 2 and stuff, if you guys don't know, a little fun fact right there, Respawn were like the main studio who made the original COD games. It was only a matter of time before some Apex fans actually asked Respawn about bringing reticles into Apex, and here's what they said. So Respawn said, there are currently no plans for crosshair customization due to the complexity behind them. Building a system such that we can present options for players, preview the results, and hook all that data deep into our crosshair UI script would be a really massive undertaking, and it would make future changes and new crosshair additions way more difficult. It's just not high on the priority list. There's a slight chance we could get some smaller scope stuff in like color adjustments, but there's no promises. So Respawn has in fact considered adding reticles into the game, but as the dev just said, it's not very high on the list of priorities right now for Respawn. Now my personal thoughts on this are very simple, because I believe that the more customization we could get in any game is always a huge plus. You know, skins, reticles, emotes, whatever Respawn could do to give us more customization will always be a very beneficial thing for the game as a whole, and most likely they will find some way to monetize this as well if it does come into Apex. So it's a win-win for us, and it's a win-win for Respawn and EA as well. So if there is a big enough demand for these reticles in Apex, then trust me, they will be here, because Apex is a business first and foremost, and they want to make money. So once the Apex community keeps on asking for this, then most likely it will be here very soon. But would you guys actually want to see reticles in Apex? Leave your comments down below. Of course, I would like to see them because I grew up playing COD, but what are your thoughts right now? Let me see. Now to end off the video, let's talk about all of the legend rebalancing news we got in the AMA. Respawn talked about Revenant, Watson, Lifeline, as well as Rampart, and I want to start things off first and foremost with Revenant. Now to my surprise, Respawn actually said that Revenant was one of the weaker legends in this game based on stats, and I'm kind of iffy on Respawn judging legends solely based on stats, because stats don't really show the full picture. I believe Revenant to be a very good team-based legend because of his ultimate ability. It's very deadly, it's very dangerous, and I think Respawn should not buff that whatsoever. Leave his ultimate right where it is. It doesn't need to get buffed at all. But what Respawn might be willing to buff is Revenant's passive, or should I say his climbing ability. Here's what Respawn had to say about a potential Revenant buff. Revenant's still weak. We have a set of changes we're trying out internally to try and fix that, and they feel fun and fine. I can tell you he'll certainly climb to the top. Interesting choice of words right there, because we all know everyone has been begging Respawn to buff Revenant's climb. So Respawn knows exactly what they're doing, and most likely very soon we'll see a buff to Revenant's passive. Maybe he'll actually finally get unlimited climbing in this game, who knows. Now moving on to Rampart, Respawn says they have some spicy buffs, and I quote, they actually said spicy buffs in store for Rampart halfway through season 10. So Rampart mains have to wait a bit until this buff is available, but I actually feel like Rampart is in a very good state right now. She isn't trash. She has seen many buffs since she was released back in season 6, and she's a lot more usable and effective right now in Apex, I would say. So Respawn doesn't want to fully reveal exactly what those buffs are right now, because most likely it's still being worked on and stuff, but Rampart is still one of the weaker legends in this game statistically, and we all know how Respawn depends on stats to make buffs and nerfs. So based on stats alone, she most likely will receive a very decent buff in season 10. We'll see what Respawn has in store. Now the final two legends Respawn really went in depth about and talked about were Watson and Lifeline. In terms of Lifeline, Respawn says that Lifeline is actually a lot stronger in season 9 because of her recent buff. Or should I say her recent buffs, because she got some insane buffs in season 9. And I made a video on this back when season 9 first dropped, and I said that she was going to be meta. I put Rampart as an S tier legend as well. You guys laughed at me, but here we are right now. Respawn is saying that Lifeline has insane stats in this game and she's too strong. And I actually want to quote exactly what Respawn said. So here's what Daniel Klein had to say. Numerically, she's too strong. She wins too often, both across the game as a whole and in every single skill bucket we look at. And she's picked very often, particularly in arenas. But it doesn't mean that we'll nerf her right away. Basically what Respawn finished off and said is that they don't exactly know what they need to do to balance out Lifeline, but they're also very happy about the current state that she's in, because they think that the buffs were very successful in making Lifeline what she needs to be and fulfilling the role she needs to fulfill. He also went on to suggest that they might potentially nerf her ultimate or nerf the speed at which her drone gives you health, but they have no concrete plans as of right now. So Lifeline means rejoice, because Respawn most likely will not touch Lifeline anytime soon. She's very strong and she's where she needs to be right now according to Respawn. Slightly a little bit too strong still, but Respawn is still just basically observing and seeing what exactly they need to do. And the very last legend Respawn spoke about was Watson, and also what Respawn said about Watson was that she's really strong. People were basically asking Respawn to buff Watson, and Respawn just completely disagreed and said that Watson was in a very good place and she's really strong right now. So here's what they had to say. Fences will be fixed soon. I think her shield regen is fine. It's a lot of power and she's very powerful. I'd rather not keep pushing more power into her until she becomes overbearing. Until we push her power, how do you say, beyond capacity. Now it's really interesting talking about Watson, because the thing with Watson is that she has a very specific role in this game. Watson isn't supposed to be like, a very aggressive legend or a do-it-all legend. She has a very specific role and she's very niche based right now in this game. So I kind of agree with Respawn, because Watson could be extremely useful on a team, especially in ranked. You can't really expect Watson to be good in every situation because, as I said, her abilities are very specific and situational. She's defensive, she helps out the team, she holds down like one specific area, and that's what she's supposed to do. So I'm not sure what else Respawn could realistically do to make Watson even better, because she fulfills her role the way she's supposed to. So we'll see what Respawn decides to do and if Respawn does change their mind, but based on what they said, they have no plans right now of buffing Watson anytime soon. So yeah, but with that said, what did you guys think about all of the insane news drops that Respawn gave us in today's video? Leave all of your comments down below, and I'm actually just very happy to see Respawn being this honest and this open with us, because it shows that they're willing to make change and actually listen to the community, which is always a big plus in any scenario. So big up to Respawn one time, huge shout out to them for actually doing this AMA. And yeah, we got so much interesting and just juicy information. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed as always, and I'll see you in some more Apex. Till next time.